So in today's episode, we have Andrew Briggs, and he is my personal trainer. He has completely changed my life in the fitness journey, and we really talk about how we got connected, the things that we've been going through life in our business, and some emotional courses that we took just recently. So we talk about a little bit of our stories. So hope you enjoy. Thanks.
Before we do the intro,
Okay.
go and grab a blue icy.
Blue icy.
All right, so we got some cookies from Crumble, everybody.
Okay.
This is like my last week of bulking, so I'm eating as much shit as I can. So this is supposed to be like the blue raspberry, like Slurpees, okay? So
Okay.
boom, cheers.
Boom.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
You know what?
What does it remind you?
It really does taste like a blue icy.
That's what it is, right?
The thing
that's
is,
what it is.
I don't know if I like that flavor in cookie form, but it tastes exactly like
It
it.
is a blue. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, we'll sprinkle these in throughout the rest of it.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Oh gosh, this is different being on the other side.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
It's kind of intimidating. I'm like, okay, wow. Okay. Hey, this is part of the podcast anyway. So welcome to Glenn's Mobile Podcast. I have here Andrew Briggs.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I've known Andrew Briggs through Rachel Briggs, your sister.
Yep.
And I don't know. I just I'm excited to have you here because I really want to talk about fitness and what you're all about. And we've been following each other ever since 2000, I want to say 14 or 15, give or take. And that's actually one of the things I want to talk about.
Oh, man. That
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, even the times that on, like, my podcast and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever actually talked about that period of time, which is really funny.
I want to talk about it because I think it's it's raw, it's, like, real, and it's something we both went through.
It's also just like such a strange thing. It's so funny because like as you're saying this, like right before I put my phone down, someone commented on one of my pieces of content and just jokingly says like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's like a pyramid scheme." And it wasn't about multi-level marketing at all, but it made me laugh that they said, "Oh, it's like a pyramid scheme," and now we're like talking about that shit. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, dude, it's. Dude, what a weird period of time.
Well, let's go straight to it. Like, since it's about the pyramid scheme, since that's really when I met you, anyways. Like, really, initially, that is the first time I met you through a multi-level marketing.
Well, I'll say it was the first time that you and I like really became like we'd met. Like, hey, hello, seeing each other in person, walked past each other in school and stuff like that, and we're like aware that, I was aware that you were my sister's friend. I don't know if you were aware that I was her brother or whatever, but like, I was definitely more aware of you because you had a YouTube channel. And I thought that was fucking cool. It's in fact just a real quick funny thing for the listeners. I like idolized Glenn at one point in time because you were the only person that I knew who had a YouTube channel, and I was like, fuck, I want to do that. And now it's so funny to like have you being the person who's like helping me build my channel and shit. It's just like a really really funny. I don't know. Life's just kind of weird like that sometimes. But yeah. So I have this distinct memory where I come to the first. Are you okay if we mention what the business was?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
It was Amway. So for those of you who aren't aware, it's a multi-level marketing company. They're not legally a pyramid scheme, but that's probably what people think of when they think of multi-level marketing. You recruit somebody, you get points from them, that makes you make more money, yada yada yada. And I remember I walked up to your house and they were going to be showing, quote, the business plan. And I was like, I know you. And you were like, you do? And I was like, yeah, my sister, Rachel Briggs. And you go, Rachel Briggs. Wow. And like then, we kind of like real briefly talked. And then that was kind of my first real dip into the business was like that meeting with you. Because I'd gotten the explanation. Someone had told me what it was about and everything like that. And I was like, okay, it seems kind of weird. But, then I meet you. And it's funny, actually, because if it had been anyone else, if I hadn't met you, someone that I knew, I don't know if I would have actually gotten in. Because you were almost the piece of social proof for me where it's like, okay, this isn't just a thing.
Right.
This is someone I know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's actually something I'm kind of realizing now, was that like realizing that it was you as opposed to just some random person. I was like, okay, so it's not bullshit. Like, you know, a real person is here that I know who's not trying to screw me over.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow. I was gonna say too, like, what's crazy was, gosh, when you got in the business, like, dude, you were doing so well. Like, I was so jealous of you. Like, I can't even tell you, like, because your sales skills were so impressive. I was like, dude, your sales skills are impressive, even to this day. Like,
I appreciate that.
I mean, you've told me a couple sales where you've got basically a big chunk of money for just talking. And anyways,
I know the one you're talking about.
I was like, okay, no refunds.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
That was wild.
But you're so good at sales, man. I know you are, and I remember you being the sales guy, like not just like selling the products, but also like getting people in and whatever. But I mean, long story short, it's just like, it is what it is. Like the business was the business. And what is something you learned out of it? What is something you gained out of it?
Man, you know, I've thought about it a lot, and it's there'll be like periods of life that I kind of think about, you know, like oh, that happened before this or that happened after it. You know, like people say there's like dividing points of your life. So it's like I can think of certain things like oh, this was before I went to Europe the first time, but it was after I started in the business. Or, okay, this was after high school, but before I started the business, you know? So it's like, I have these to kind of like connect memories to. So it's funny because that was such a significant thing in my life that I won't say I'm upset that I did it, but it's like, as rough as that period was, getting through that shit and just having to come to terms with the fact that, you know, it was a scam, it was still a really significant event, and it made me branch out a lot more. It got me very comfortable with hearing no, because even doing sales and stuff, you know, you get told no all the time, but even doing this, it was like there was such a higher percentage of no, and then just even being able to approach people. I mean, you know, when I was playing music and I was like, you know, the band guy or whatever, like everybody wants to meet the people in the band and shit like that, even if it's a small band. So I could walk up to someone and they're like, oh, cool, like it's the guy from the band, you know? But then when I'm just some fucking guy on the street and I walk up to someone and it's like, hey, who are you? What are you about? Yada, yada. And, you know, you have to actually find a way to engage someone in conversation. Like, it grew my sales skills a lot, but it also got me back into reading.
That's true. It did get me back into reading too.
And I read a shitload.
That's right.
Now.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, same thing. I think the books, listening to, surrounding yourself with like good people that are making more money than me, like all the basic essential business mindset. Yeah. And what else? The books was definitely one of them. That was the biggest thing, but the cons or the pros about that was I'm agreeing with you with the no's. Like the no's, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me.
It's like no, if it's just part of they're not saying no to me, they're just saying no to themselves at that moment in time. Maybe later on they'll need a video or whatever I do. Yeah. And I'm sure the same thing to you is
100%, dude. Because like the other thing too is like whenever someone says no to, you know, a product or service or whatever, it's oftentimes it's not even really no. It's like you said, it's them to some extent saying no to themselves, but it's also just sometimes it is as simple as like, hey, I need more information, or hey, I don't have the fucking money. You know, like when someone says no to me, it's not because like what I provide, my training, my nutrition advice, my massage stuff, it's not because that's not useful. A lot of the only time I get no is people are just like, dude, I genuinely cannot afford this. And then more often than not, I'll be like, okay, well, we have you at this package. Let's just take you down to this one. It's smaller, it's less involved, but it's still going to get you where you want to go. And they're like, okay, cool, that's perfect. So it's like,
right.
But God, I don't even know if I feel like I just talked in a circle, but like the thing that frustrates me a little bit about like the pros from the business was like, they weren't exclusive to the business. You know, could someone else have gotten you back into reading? Of course. Could someone else have said, hey, the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with are who you're going to be most like? Of course someone could have said that. Yeah. You know, could you have gotten a high volume sales job where you get told no all fucking day? Of course. It's like, that's the thing that kills me is it's like, we got these various lessons out of it, but how much did it fucking cost us?
Dude, I did my numbers.
No.
I did. You want to know it?
I do.
$17,500.
Oh, fuck.
3
that
years.
Hurts me, dude.
3 years. Exactly 3 years. I quit on the exact same day.
Really?
That's why I quit. The only reason I quit was because I saw the dates, and those are my numbers.
Wow.
Those are my numbers. Like, I didn't even realize when I signed up because I did a contract with Bryce.
Right.
And then on the end of the third, I remember the last day. It was the same day he told me. He's like, hey, and I looked at the dates. I was like, there's no way that this happened on the exact same day. So that's why I said, I'm going to do whatever the next one.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. Well, and it's wild to think about if we had not been presented that other opportunity that we ended up kind of leapfrogging to, we probably would have never left, or who knows how much longer we would have stuck around in it for. And like, you know, it ultimately what it took was not so much, hey, this is a scam. It was, hey, this is a scam, but it's also screwing over people, quote, below us. You know, the people that you recruit, they're actually getting fucked over.
Yeah.
And that was what ultimately got Bryce to talk to us about it. And he was just like, look, like, the value that I believed was here when I showed it to you guys isn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, it took a lot of fucking balls and a lot of humility for him to say that, because I know that when he was talking to me about it, I was fucking pissed.
Dude, I was so like, gosh, why would he do that?
Yeah.
Like,
when it's
betrayal.
The fact that he had that realization and told us about it, I was like, damn, dude, like, in hindsight, it's like, wow, you realized this and actually told us. You owned up to it, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Because so many people in that fucking business, dude, like, they just
keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, as you get higher up through the brand or through the ranks and stuff like that, you learn more about it, and you learn how much money you're actually making off of other people's efforts, which ultimately, at the end of the day, like, that is how capitalism works. That's how pretty much any business with employees works.
Right.
But it's like, at least in a job, you know what you're getting. You know that you're eating a shit sandwich.
Right.
This job gives you a shit, or this business gives you a shit sandwich and dresses it up like it's a fucking steak dinner, you know?
Oh, gosh, that's the best way to put it. That's right. Ugh.
Like, oh, look, you have this opportunity. No, you have a scam and a job put together.
Right.
And you don't even make money. You pay money for it.
Yep.
It's insanity, bro.
And in hindsight, I always say, like, you know what? You know, I'm the other way. I always try to see the things on the positive side. I said, you know what? That was $17,500 investment for reading books, getting rejected, learning how to public speak.
Yep.
Like, I just see it the other way around.
Yep.
Like, I can talk to anybody now.
Yeah.
I can walk to anybody. I can see their body language. I mean, I have so much personal, people skills?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's
one of those things where you almost, it's like you have to find a way to put a positive spin on it, because if you don't, it's just so fucking depressing to think about. Because it's like, I mean, I don't know what mine's at, but it's probably, if you were at 17 for 3 years, I think I was like 2 years, 2 and some change. How long were you in before I came in?
3 years.
No, before I came in.
Oh, what is it? Before, probably like a year.
Probably a year. Okay, so yeah, I was probably about 2 years into it or something like that.
Got it.
So I'm probably somewhere around 9,000 to 12,000 was probably what I spent, you know, just to equate it roughly to what you were doing. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I think about it in that regard, it's, wow, I spent $12,000 for people to say, read a book and get uncomfortable. It's like, fuck, dude. I could have hired some shitty Instagram business coach for fucking $100 a month for that much, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, man.
But it's like, you have to find a way to stomach it. And it's, you know, ultimately, if I really look at it, would I right now have a cameraman, have a guy who's editing my stuff, have a guy who puts together, you know, thumbnails and pictures and all these different things, had I not done that? Maybe. But when I hit that wall where I was like, I can't make my own fucking content anymore. And I was like, I need to hire someone. I'm like, I don't know anybody who does video. I know Glenn. And like, it was just fucking boom.
That's
so it's
crazy.
like, if I hadn't done that, that's potentially the wall that I would have hit, is I don't know anyone who does videography. Boom. Dead end.
Here I go.
And business crashes and burns.
And before we get into the video stuff, I really want to talk I want another piece of that.
Oh, yeah,
cake.
dude. All right, we got birthday cake, chocolate cake, or s'more?
Ooh, let me try that s'more.
That's s'more? Alrighty. Here, I'll grab this one just so my finger's not all over yours. All right, cheers.
Cheers
to
again.
fucking weird shit. That is a s'more.
Oh, this is more.
100% that tastes like a s'more. Oh my god.
So
That's
good.
crazy. Guys, I'm so sorry about the mouth sounds.
It's all good.
Getting some free ASMR.
I was gonna ask you, before we get into like talking about your video stuff and your business, I want to talk. You said something in the conversation, depression. So after you quit, right, multi-level marketing with Amway, how did you feel after? What did you feel?
Severely depressed.
Is that right?
Severely depressed, man.
Can you talk about it? Like, what is it that you went through your head? What happened during that period?
I felt like I had a purpose finally. You know, we all have this idea of what we're going to achieve and do and be and provide. And in a regular 9 to 5, unless you have, you know, a very in-demand set of skills, you know, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a mechanic, you're probably never going to make $100,000 a year. Right? So I had goals like paying off my mom's house. You know what? That is something that the business did, is it allowed me to dream bigger than I ever thought that I could.
True.
I would have never came up with a fucking dream like that had I not heard someone else say that. And then I was like, what the fuck? You can do that? So then that becomes like a reality. You know, you don't know what you can dream until somebody else throws it out there. And it's like, fuck, that's a realistic thought? Like, that's not insane? So that was another benefit of it. But
Nice.
so I was depressed because when I was doing it, I finally felt like I had an answer. You know, this is how I'm going to have that life. This is how I'm going to provide for my loved ones. And you know, as much as people hate to admit it, to a large extent, what it is to be a man is what can you provide. And people don't like hearing that shit nowadays because it's like, oh, you're, you know, it's the fucking patriarchy, it's this, it's that, it's yada yada. It's like, look, man, like here's the fucking reality is most jobs that men have are outcome and output based. You know, it is us physically using our body to do something, and usually the reason that, you know, we attain love from others is because of what we are able to do or be. It is not just like us existing. We have to provide something. I don't know how else to say it. So it's like when it felt like that got taken away from me, I was like, fuck, I'm worthless.
Right.
I can't provide for loved ones. I will never be able to create this life that I want for my family. I'm never going to be a high enough value person for, you know, to attract the person that I want to marry. And it just, I mean, it really fucking hit me where it was just like, I don't, like, it's just not possible now. I was so fucking sad, man. And just, even now, I think back to the fact that there are people in that business, and granted they are screwing people over left and right, but there's this teeny little part of me, this 1% of me that goes, but fuck, dude, if I was getting paid $250,000, would I be taking that position? Would I switch places with those people because they're making that much fucking money and screwing over that many people? And 1 out of 100 times, I would probably choose it.
Really?
I mean, think about it, dude. It's the simple reality of, and I'm only saying this because I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
If right now you could flip your life and just at the snap of a finger, you are able to pay off your entire family's debt. You're able to buy yourself the house that you want. You're able to have the car that you want. You're making so much money. You go on vacations all the fucking time. You have all these wealthy friends who just do all these cool things. You just got to fuck over like 100 people. One of those times, anybody would pick that. It's just the reality.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. And the only thing that I would think in my point of view would be, because here's the thing, would I find out, would my subconscious kick in? Or I mean, not my subconscious, would my conscious kick in? Would I know that I'm screwing people over? Would I know? Because when I was in the business, I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't know, right? So does that keep going? until you keep growing. It's like, oh, I'm still doing the right thing. I'm still helping people. I'm making the money, right?
Well, no, and that's how they're able to keep you in. But it's you know, that joke about like the Joker and Batman is Batman is the Joker, or Batman is not the Joker just because of one decision. They are the same fucking thing, except they made one different choice. So imagine all these things in your life. Just you're one slight decision away from being a piece of shit. We all are.
Correct.
We're all one little fucking decision away from having become this terrible person, or maybe this person who has this idea that they're a good person and is just screwing over people left and right. Because a lot of the people in that business probably don't think they're fucking people over, but a lot of them probably know they're fucking people over and don't care. And I don't know which one's scarier. Like, I don't know which one's fucking weirder, that you don't know that you're doing it, or that you do know you're doing it and you don't care. But it's like, if, you know, instead of living this nice life that you're living, you know, like you got a fucking house, you got a good family, you make good money running your own business. Imagine you were working a 9 to 5 making minimum wage right now, and someone says, hey, how'd you like $250,000 a year? You just got to fuck some people over. Suddenly that shit looks a lot better. By the grace of the fact that you and I are successful, we don't want to fuck people over.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I know. I wouldn't want. I don't know. That's just me. But I know what you're saying, though. There's that dilemma. I know what you're saying.
We're able to, in this position, say, fuck no, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Because we have good lives and everything like that.
Exactly.
But again, you ask pretty much anybody. One out of 100 times, they're probably going to be like, I can do that. It's fucking weird.
Dude, that's crazy.
Nobody's perfectly ethical. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, man. All right, so after your depression, what did you do? What changed? I think you were still working at the...
I'm still working at Fitness Connection.
Is that right? Yeah, you're still working there. Okay, so where was the transition? Where was the like aha moment? Where is the like, hey, I found what I want to do, or I decided, you know what, I'm tired of this, or my depression?
One of my old best friends, Zach, actually, he hit me up and was like, hey, I found a training center that we can train independently at.
Does he train with Reset You?
No.
That's Zach? No, is that?
No, not that one. Yeah, it's a different company, but no, that's Glenn that you're thinking of. Glenn's Reset You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so Zach's like, hey, there's this place that we can train independent at, and I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I have a big enough clientele. And, you know, freaking out. I'm like, shit, how do we leave this gym without violating our non-compete, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we just basically kind of come to the decision, like, hey, we're going to do it. And I remember having this, like, really, like, excited, touching bro moment, because we were like, dude, we're going to do this. We're going to build up our clientele, and we're going to fucking run a business together eventually. And I was fucking thrilled, you know, I was so excited. And we end up jumping through a lot of crazy fucking hoops, getting out of that gym, violating our non-competes, and we go switch to this other place to start building up our clientele. He got off clean. I did not. They caught on to me. They knew what I was doing, and they weren't happy. So I actually had to make it look, there's a lot more to the story that I can't say, but I had to make it look like I was working just a regular job. So I ended up picking up a job bartending. Yeah, so that's how I ended up there. Yep.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a real story.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's real?
Yeah, so that's why I started bartending there. Was because I had to make it look like I had a job.
That's hilarious.
And then, you know, I started making a ton of money bartending. I was still training on the side, making a ton of money, and I was like, it ended up, I believe, being when I turned 25, went to Europe for the very first time. I think like 2 or 3 months later, I ended up leaving that bartending job and just going full-time training, because I just like had this epiphany. I was like, fuck this, like I'm taking the shot, and if I fail, I fail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you? What'd you do after that?
What did I do after that? Okay, that was my bicycle trip, right?
Yes, dude, that inspired the fuck out of me. So that, I'm pretty sure that was why I went to Europe.
Yep, you told me.
Yeah.
You told me.
Yeah, because I was like, what a fucking psychopath. Like, what are you doing?
No, dude, I had to get out of my depression.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, and because I was the same way, dude. I was depressed for at least a year. All 2017, and then 2018 hit. My aunt passed away. My dog passed away that year. Like, a lot of things happened that year. I quit the business, and 2018 started. Dude, I had nothing. I had no money. My job laid me off too, because they knew something was up. Like, hey, Glenn, you're not dressing nice anymore. Like right away, there's a transition. They're like, whoa. Oh yeah, they saw it. Like they're like, dude, and something's up. And I didn't have, dude. I this is what I did. I went back to every single person that I shared almost a business, like a good friend of mine, and I apologized. Sorry, man, if I try to get you into this business, dude. I promised everybody I was going to be a millionaire in like 2 to 5 years or whatever. So I had to go back, and then I started working at a pizza shop at Papa John's, and I started all the way down. And I was like, whatever, it's a job. And started working for a water company, and then right after that, something hit me. I was like, dude, I know what I want to do. Like, and I didn't tell anybody that I was going to do this bicycle ride. I only told like really few people. And then the next day, I was like, I thought of this because I was like, you know what? If I tell people, they're going to start putting ideas in.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I'll do a video. I'll be like, hey, tomorrow, I did a Facebook video. I was like, hey, tomorrow I'm heading out to San Francisco on my bicycle. So there's nobody can say anything. It's all positive. Yeah. And they can't think of ideas quick enough.
Dude, I remember seeing that. Someone sent it to me and was like, do you see what Glenn's doing? And I was like, no. And like someone sent it to me and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, it was like one of those things that you read about, you know, like, oh, you know, fucking random people that I've never heard of do that. Not people I know. Like, it's fucking insanity. It was so crazy. So what year was that you did that?
September 10th, 2018.
Okay.
I remember the exact same day.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it got me all the way to San Francisco. Then I met a girl in Hawaii.
And you went to fucking Israel, dude.
Israel after that. Like, it's a whole story.
Yeah, dude. Have you shared that whole story?
I haven't shared. There's a couple videos that I do have, yeah.
I think you need to do a solo episode about that.
I do, huh?
Yeah, like really just the, like... Fuck, you can use this as the intro for it. Hey guys, this is the crazy fucking story that Glenn uses where he travels the world essentially on a coin flip. Like, you kind of just did it because, like, it's absolute insanity, man.
Dude, I didn't even know how to camp either. It was my first time going camping. Yes.
You're kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I had all the camping. I bought all the camping gear, and I was like,
And you did that shit in September.
Yep.
Dude, you're fucking lucky, man. If you would have done that shit like a month later, you'd have been freezing your ass off.
I know.
You probably were getting cold at nights.
A little bit. No, it was like nice. It was like a nice breeze. It was barely getting cold.
Yeah, Cheers the hit and miss.
Yeah, I love September.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ride my bike. Yes,
sir. Birthday cake one to fucking cheers to that shit. Traveling and doing crazy stuff.
100%.
Yeah. Birthday cake's not hard to do, though. You know, you just change it from a cake to a cookie.
That's really good. That's a cake.
Yep.
Nice, man. Yeah. So that trip really inspired me to start getting back into films, because I was like, hey, I can make a movie out of this. And that's why it all started. It just made a movie, and like I saw storytelling in a physical form, like, because there's things that happened to me that I had to make decisions right on the spot, where I had to abandon my bicycle in the middle of like Napa Valley.
You telling me that?
Yeah, so it was like, I was like, this stuff happens in the movies, like the climax, like, or what would the character do, you know?
It's the hero's journey, bro.
Yeah, that's right, the hero's journey, that's right. So that's why I got into filmmaking. That's what inspired me, and I just kept going. That's why I was like, maybe that's why I went after that girl, because I was like, hey, let me see how far I can take it. And I just wanted to show up. I was like, you know what, I'll do my part. I'll show up. I did my part. And there's more factors to it. And you told me, like, the whole, like, alpha versus beta. And dude, that really got to. I was like, I look back, I was like, damn, dude, that hit hard. I
have to put a disclaimer for anyone who's listening to this, because the whole alpha beta thing is usually like really insufferable. People talk about that. And just to clarify for anybody who's listening, like, when I was saying the whole alpha beta thing, it wasn't. It was essentially just. Sometimes you make yourself too available for, people who don't really care for your time. And it's like, okay, if you were, the quote alpha of, like, your life or whatever, you're making a shitload of money, you're super successful, tons of people are interested in you, you have a shitload of options, would you still be giving this person the time of day? And it's like, probably not. I mean, you would give them the time of day, but would you be trying as hard as you are right now? Probably not. Okay, then you're being a little pussy. Like, I don't know, dude. The thing is, there's truth to that, and it's for men and women. It's like if you're giving time to someone who doesn't want your time, giving them more of your time isn't going to make them appreciate it.
So
Giving someone more of something that they already don't appreciate doesn't make them appreciate you anymore.
Right.
It's weird.
No, it's true. No, you got a good point. You hit me with that truth, and I was like, damn.
I know exactly where I was standing when I had that conversation with you.
Yeah.
I was on the phone outside of Lighthouse, and I was pacing back and forth because you called me and you were just like, hey, just give me, like, you know, full stream of consciousness feedback about me. And I was like, fuck, all right, buddy, I hope you're sitting down. Like, but it was like all that shit. None of that was like to put you down, you know? And that was like, my God, man. I remember when I did that with one of my friends where I just was like, look, dude, just like sock it to me, you know, tell me the shit about me. Tell me my shit. And he fucking grilled me. And it was like, there's a difference between someone giving you feedback because they want to improve you and someone just fucking kicking you while you're down, you know? So it's like, I don't know, honestly, like I've done that exercise with other friends and family. Like, you know, hey, just sock it to me. Just give me whatever you have to say to me as long as it's constructive.
Right.
And, you know, you get stuff out of it, bro.
You do.
It's freaky, but it's hard because you have to be able to just shut the fuck up and listen.
That's right.
It's freaky.
It is freaky, but hey, you can either take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like the one thing that's crazy to me is like, let's say someone says something about you. Let's say it's like something that's top of mind for me right now. Andrew, you're lazy. I feel like I haven't been working hard enough. But that's something I kind of always think about myself. If someone said that to me and I got offended, what does that really mean?
Right.
I'm internalizing that shit. I believe that. I believe that I'm fucking lazy. Or on the flip side, it's something that I really fear becoming.
Right.
Because I do fear that shit.
Do you?
And on something, yeah, dude, I'm really scared to become the person that I was when I was like 11.
Who are you going to be 11?
No, that I was when I was 11.
Oh, 11. Oh, okay,
yeah,
got it.
I was just this lazy little fucking like gamer kid, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but it was like I had no drive, I had no ambition, I had, you know, no goals. I just wanted to play video games. And it's like I fear becoming that person again, who's not working, who's not striving for a goal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you internalize that shit, what does that really say? Why is that the thing that's fucking you up? Because you're fucking scared about it.
Yeah, that's right. It does scare you.
Yeah.
It scares me too. Wow.
What is the thing? Like, if someone right now were to, if somebody right now were just to be like, hey, Glenn, I got some feedback for you. What's the thing you dread hearing right now?
Oh, the one I would dread hearing, feedback, real feedback. You're not blunt enough, or you're not you're not blunt enough, like in a way where it's like real. Like sometimes I got that's the one thing I think I'm working on it, like being just real, like just up front, like, hey, when something pisses me off right then and there, but not saying it like, hey, F you this. No. I'm being like, hey,
Direct.
very direct. That's one thing I'm been learning. It's been an uphill journey. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. If someone says, hey, you're this, even when I went to Choice, right? Someone called me a coward.
Oh, fuck. That word does something to me.
Dude.
That word does something to me. And why? Why does it do something to me? Because on some level, I fear that I am.
Dude, he looked me straight in the eyes. This guy named Max, basketball player. He's like 22 years old, or 20 years old. He's super tall. I mean, he went to go play at the Japan. I mean, I love him to death, like one of my coaches. And dude, he just looked me straight in the eyes, and I was like, dude, you're a coward. And I was like, damn. I was like, I can feel it, like, because I can know this guy's not a coward. So I felt it in him.
Oof. That gave me chills.
And he looked me right in the eyes, dude, and I cried. Dude, I cried. Like, dude, you saved my life. Like, and I've said, hey, you saved my life so many times to certain people.
Yeah.
And that's because I finally realized, oh, that means to me that you told me the truth. It's something I needed to hear.
Shit.
That's why I say it now. I realized, like, I look back, I was like, oh, you saved my life. Oh, it's because someone told me what I needed to hear.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? You know what's even fucking wild, or even more wild too, is that because I've thought about that before, where it's like, man, how many times have I said, oh God, this saved my life? Oh man, without this, I'd be dead right now. And it's like, dude, there have been, those are basically just all little paradigm shifts for us, you know?
That's right.
Like every time that comes up, man, you changed my life, man, you saved my life, man, this saved my life, whatever it is. So it's like, those were all various times that, like you said, someone told us the truth, or we had something just come into us or come into our fucking brain that just made us go, oh shit, I can be better than I am.
Exactly. That's
weird.
And thanks to you, which we'll talk about that. That's going to be next, the Choice Center thing. But I want to talk actually about your business too.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I love about your business, by the way. So Andrew is Pride Fitness and Movement, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, switch the name.
Do you put this on YouTube? I can't remember.
I do put this on YouTube.
Okay, we'll link my channel or whatever right here. In
fact,
you know what? Link the video of the podcast episode I did with you.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
Yeah, just link it like right above my head.
So yeah, backwards. Yes. Okay, perfect. And we'll link your channel at the end too. So
right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I wanna say a really big compliment on your business. The one thing that I noticed is your assessments. I think that's the best thing I've ever seen by far, because my misconception or my thought process was, when I go to the gym or I'm hiring somebody that's a trainer, the first thing we're going to do is do a bunch of push-ups, weights, and we're just, oh, hey, you got to do this. Oh, hey, you got to do that. Oh, go to the sauna. Oh, go swim. Go do this. Oh, and then they're just going to keep doing you, hammering it. I don't roll that way. But you, what I loved about what you did, you're like, I keep calling you like a mechanic.
Right.
You're like a mechanic. You do the, like, hey, I'm a Lexus, and you're going to look for what's wrong with this Lexus, not put like a Ford or a Toyota parts in me.
Right.
You're going to find things like, hey, you know, your back's like this. Hey, you're this. So you literally, what I saw in your process was, I literally did like just stretches and breathing exercises for like 2-3 months, just so I can get my form back. And then you little bit of weight. But I saw what you were doing, where you were just like, this little demonstration, this stretch or this little tiny weight is going to make you so you can lift the bigger weights. And it's just it's like this flow, and it's and now I'm like deadlifting, what is it,
275, bro. Yes. That shit's so crazy. Yeah, you because what do you weigh right now?
How much I weigh?
Yeah, what do you weigh right now?
165.
Yeah, so you're not that far away from deadlifting twice your body weight.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. That's some shit.
That is.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
That's weird, dude. Yeah, you got, what, 50, 60 pounds to go or something like that?
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
So what inspired you to do the assessment first? Like, what?
A lot of it was just, like, where did I learn it, or what was it that really kind of
like
grabbed
what
me?
clicked? Like, hey, this is the way to go.
Well, a lot of the not all of them, but I'll say probably 50-60% of the assessments that I do were things that I learned from Paul Chek, and the other 50 to 40% or so are things that I learned from FMS, functional movement screening, Squat University, and just like a bunch of physical therapy manuals. So like I own a couple PT manuals that I've like, just learned, hey, here's what the optimal range of motion is for a joint. Here's how you assess that. And here's what to do if it's not. And here's what might be happening when someone exercises that. So it's like, for example, I can watch someone squat, and this is like really basic shit, but it's like, I can watch someone squat and see, okay, well, what are their ankles, knees, hips doing? And what does that mean about their body? And it's like, there's a lot of stuff in PT manuals where it's like, okay, is someone feeling pain in like this part of their knee? Okay, well, check this joint, check this range of motion. So it's like a lot of it sounds funny to say that these are basic things that anybody can learn, but because that's what everything is, anybody can learn anything, but it's like you could probably buy a PT manual, look up a joint, and figure out every single assessment that you can do for that joint. And while that would be useful, it doesn't take in the entire picture of how the body works. You're not just a set of knees or your hips or your shoulders or your upper back. You are all these things and how they influence each other.
Right.
When one tire is like more bald than another on your car, it fucks your car up. And that's just a fucking tire. But people will be like, oh, I can't rotate my hand as much as I can rotate another. That's fine. What? You have one body. Like, you're not going to be able to replace, whatever ends up happening up the arm because of that. Like maybe it's your elbow, maybe it's your shoulder, maybe it's, something that has to do with how you're extending your spine. And you only have one of those. I was obsessed with figuring that shit out about myself. I didn't like the idea that I was going to have to pay somebody else. I just kept fucking learning and learning and learning. And to the degree that my friend Glenn is like, hey, when are you going to like stop learning and just like start applying all this shit? And sometimes I have to have him actually like,
really?
Yeah, make me pump the brakes on education sometimes and just be like, hey, you have done so much information cultivation. You need to give it out to the world.
What is it? Information cultivation?
Yeah. Just keep on grabbing, keep on learning. And it's like, so yeah, I really wanted to find a way to solve my problems naturally. So what do I need to stretch? What do I need to strengthen? What do I need to eat? What do I need to stop eating? What do I need more of? All these different things. And a lot of that stems from the fact of, my early teenage years from puberty. So what, 10, 11, 12, something like that. Probably until I was 16 or 17. I was on just a big old cocktail of drugs, like antidepressants, ADHD medication, sleep medication. And it, quote, solved the problem, but it fucked me up, man. So it's I could finally focus in school. I wasn't depressed anymore. But I was exhausted, always. I didn't have any personality. I couldn't fucking be friends with people. So then it's at some point in time, I remember just being I'm done taking these. And I didn't tell my mom. I just stopped taking them. And that was when I started getting more into guitar. And suddenly, ADHD kind of starts fading away. Depression starts fading away a little bit. Oh, do I have ADD and depression? And guys, this is not medical advice, but it kind of became this thing where I'm like, do I have ADHD and depression? Or am I just disinterested in everything that I'm doing and I don't feel like I have a drive towards something? And again, not medical information, not medical advice, but I think ADHD in the case of men has a lot to do with the fact that we are taught to learn a way that we don't necessarily learn effectively. Men generally don't learn out of books very well. Men tend to learn through application or visually seeing something done. So, I had to replace a radiator in my Jeep a little while ago. If I read how to replace the radiator in my Jeep, I probably wouldn't have figured it out. But I watched a video and had someone who has done a radiator repair before and had him watching me and explaining what I was doing and pointing everything out. So suddenly it's me physically doing it, it's me watching him do some stuff, and it's him correcting me in real time as opposed to just, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah. No.
So it's but I remember that 9-hour period of going through all these repairs and fixing a bunch of other stuff and talking to him about this entire process so clearly. And I didn't pick my phone up the entire time. I was just super honed in and focused on this. And it's that kind of became the thing was, okay, well, what grabs my attention right now? And for a while it was music. It still is music. But now it's been fitness for 10 years. I fucking love it, dude. It's so cool. Learning about it and understanding it and, having a friend or a client or a family member come up to me and say, hey, Andrew, I have this going on. And I go, oh, send me a video of you doing this, this, and that. And they're like, okay. And then I get a text the next day and they go, hey, those stretches, those exercises, those this, those that, it feels better. I'm like, fuck yes. That's so fucking cool. I love it, dude.
That's awesome, man.
And then it was the same thing with depression. I finally had something to focus on. And there are periods of time, even in all this fitness stuff, where I'll kind of notice it. I notice myself slip back into it and I go, why? What is it that I'm not interested in right now? Why is it that I'm not interested in this? Is this becoming too easy? Is this not challenging anymore? Is this not grabbing my whatever the fuck it might be, But it forces me to kind of look inward. How do I solve this problem with myself, with how I think, with how I feel, with the exercise, the diet, the this, the that, the other, what's the natural way to solve these problems? And there's not always a natural solution. But for me, it has been 95% of the time,
Wow.
Obviously, I'm not going to eat a broken wrist into being better. I'm not going to exercise a broken wrist into being better.
Right.
But hey, once I put that plate in, suddenly I could massage and exercise it back to proper function.
Right. Yeah. And just studying it and doing.
Yeah, just understanding.
Just understanding it.
Yeah.
I do. I love what you do, man. It's changed my life completely.
It's been cool working with you.
Oh, I love it.
I've said this to you before, but there's like a handful of people that I can just say, do this, and I don't have to check in. You just do it, you know. And I like that because one, it shows that you actually want to do it. You want the results. You don't want a fucking babysitter. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I don't want anybody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like, people telling me what to do.
One, it's extremely rare because the majority of clients that PTs end up working with is, you know, somebody wants someone who's going to keep them accountable, which is a part of it, obviously. Because there's been once or twice, maybe in the last 11 months, that I've said, hey, did you do this? And you're like, man, not this week. And you say, I'll do it next week. And then guess what? You do it next week.
Yeah, the creatine. Hey,
yeah.
Buy creatine. No. Buy creatine. No. Buy creatine. Okay.
Yep.
And I finally bought it, and I was like, dude, it's...
Yeah.
And I had to change my mindset on you. I would always say, dude, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yep.
I want to prove... this creatine is not going to work. I'm going to buy it just for you. And it works. Like, everything you told me has worked. Like, my back, everything has changed. My form. I love it. And I'll do your... I'm going to do a 1 year...
Yeah.
Like what you were telling
me.
Dude,
that's a good
idea.
mobility movement one.
Oh, you like that one?
That's so sick, dude.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy when I found those videos again because I was just like, I remember I saw that before in my eye or in my head where it was just you hunched over like a fucking gremlin picking that shit up, and I was just like, I remember the moment that I recorded that, and I was just like, oh fucking shit! Like it was bad enough that I almost was like, I have to tell him to fix this because he might hurt himself.
Right.
But the weight was so light that I wasn't really worried about it. But like, oh dude, it was so like.
Oh gosh, I know I saw that. My back right here.
Yeah, and I literally was just like, dude, sometimes I get excited seeing shit like that when people just move so badly because I'm like, you are going to be just the most glowing before and after. and there it is. Right. I showed my client right after you. Two after you. I showed her those videos because she's a PT and massage therapist. Uh-huh. And she was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah. Dude, when you get people moving right, they're just, everything is better.
Dude, I make more money. I have a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
I'm doing things.
Yeah.
It's like my health. My brother knows that, like, hey, dude, why are we eating differently now? Mm-hmm. Blame Andrew. And he's like, yes, like we're finally eating fish.
Yeah.
Like he's been telling me to eat fish for so long.
Dude, when I came over here the other day, he was like asking me, like he asked me a couple like health questions, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is cool. Here, real quick. Cheers this last
one.
This last cookie. Sweet. Cheers to getting friends and family to fucking take care of themselves.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I want to talk about one more thing. Do want to talk about Choice Center because it's something that we went together.
All right.
And I think it's really important because it has changed my life. Mm-hmm. Even to this, it's been 1 year since.
Yeah.
Almost a year. Exactly a year.
Been a year and a half for me.
Mm-hmm. So, what was your experience like? What was that? And why did you reach out to me?
Do I have your permission to go like as deep as possible? Like, can I go real heavy with this?
This is all raw. No cuts, all like the ounce. Yeah. I like all of it.
Not talking about any of the specific exercises or anything, but just like real deep into like my own experience of it. I didn't want to go. My friend was trying to get me to go, and it's really weird because I've never doubted him on anything. Anytime he's told me something, told me to do something, read something, learn something, whatever, I did it. Because I fully trusted him. He actually just had a baby. And it's really funny because I was talking to him about it and I was like, hey, I'm glad I could be your warm up. Because like I was kind of his like pseudo kid for a minute, you know, I was so fucking lost.
Oh, right.
But this person that I saw as like a father figure when he brought up choice, I didn't want to do it. Told me about his experience and I was like, hey, that's cool for you, man. That sounds fucking terrible. Like just, everything that he was saying about it, I was like, that's awesome. I would hate to do that. And I don't know what finally got me to do it, actually. You know what? It was, I met a couple other people who went and were like, hey, it was really, really worthwhile. And I was like, all right, fine. So I finally did it, and I get there, and I'm paranoid, terrified, freaked the fuck out. I have so many trust issues. Like, this is where we're gonna get deep, everybody, and like, you know, as trigger warning, we're gonna talk about like child sex abuse and stuff like that. So just a little disclaimer there. I developed a lot of trust issues through my life because of, you know, getting sexually abused as a kid, because of, you know, my dad abandoning me, because of, you know, various father figures kind of popping in and then abruptly leaving. And I was just so fucking scared. And I don't know what it was about this seminar that, you know, him telling me just immediately sent the red flags up, but I didn't. When I finally did it, I mean, even when I got there, I was still just like fucking scared.
Yeah.
Still just paranoid, freaking the fuck out. Everything about it, man. Just fuck. Just, hackles sticking up like crazy.
Right.
And we get there, and we go through a handful of exercises and stuff like that. And the weird thing is, there were several things that really came out of it. But one of the big things was, it made me stop fearing platonic intimacy with men. You know, there was a period of time where a man putting his hand on my upper back just fucking freaked me the fuck out. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
you told me that.
yeah, I would just like get super aggressive immediately. Did not like it.
Right.
And I actually remember the very last day going up to my coach, who is, another thing that I had a big fear of was people who were bigger than me. And I'm fucking 6'3", like 190 pounds. I'm not a small guy. So when someone's bigger than me, they're fucking big. And he was like 6'5", 6'6", 280. Arik, big fucking guy.
Okay, he's a big guy.
And I walked up to him at the end of it and just hugged him, and I just fucking cried. I just fucking sobbed at the end of this shit when it was all said and done. And that was probably one of the first times since being a kid that I felt okay fully emotionally just like opening up to someone, not to mention someone bigger than me who was also a male. And there was so much that went into that, and so much that had to be broken down to like get me to that point. But there were many parts of choice that I fucking hated. But would I do them all again, knowing that that is going to be the outcome? Absolutely.
Right.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Right. And it shifted.
Yeah.
Everything, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, to put it plainly, you know, sometimes the thing that you need is not what you want.
Tell me about it.
You know? But yeah, dude, it was such a surreal experience. And then I think what it was with you, the reason that I wanted you to do it was you were one of the people in the business in Amway that I was like, this person wants something. He is as happy as he is going to get with where he is in his life. And I knew that you could do more, which meant that you could be happier.
Right.
Which is like a really fucking weird way to say you weren't doing enough and I could see that you were depressed. which says what about me? I wasn't doing enough and I was depressed.
That's right. That's interesting.
And you were one of the people who was really trying. And I remember talking to you about it where you and I were both just fucking shattered when the business didn't work out, when it wasn't what we believed that it was. And I was like, fuck, dude. I have to get Glenn to believe that this isn't what that is. And I made that call and I was like, thank God that I have so much fucking sales skills. Thank God I learned so much in sales, because there were so many pre-qualifying questions that I said just to get you to fucking get over this hump and get over this hump and get over this hump. Because what were the things that I needed to get you past? Glenn needs to trust me. Glenn needs to believe that I have his best interest in mind. Glenn needs to not be worried about money. And Glenn needs to be able to have a goal that he's pushing to. Do you remember what the goal was that I made you think about?
Gosh, I don't even remember.
It was this.
Really?
Yeah. Shooting content. Full time.
Oh, right. Yes. You're right.
I remember the exact corner lot that I was standing on when I called you.
You're right.
There were 4 little concrete blocks that I was pacing back and forth on the sidewalk as I was talking to you. And as I was talking to you, I had this thing that my other friend Glenn Dawson told me, where he said, and this was about training, if you don't get them to do this, it is your fault that they don't get the results that they need. And I thought about that. Fuck, if I don't get Glenn to do this, he is going to be stuck here. And that was like a fucking personal responsibility, like on me. I have to get him to do this.
Yeah.
So then it becomes, do you believe that I would tell you to do something that is going to be negative for you? And you said, no. And I said, okay, so if I talk to you about something that I truly believed is going to help you, you believe that it is not to enrich myself, it is not to make my life better anyway, it is 100% to get to you, right? And you're like, yes. And I was like, if I told you that there was something that I believe is going to get you to this next step, that is going to help you work through all these fucking sticking points that you have, get you past all this bullshit, and you could afford it, would you do it? And you said, yeah. And I said, God, what was it? I was like, do you have $500? And I think you said, I don't know.
Yep.
And I was like, when will you know? And you were like, I don't know. And then I actually ended up fundraising that $500 for you, because I was like, you remember that, right? Yeah. I was like, fuck, this is the thing that's going to hold him back. He's down to do it. He's this, he's that, he's blah, blah, blah. But fucking $500, no. And I ended up fundraising that money and shit like that. And I was like, hey, if I get you this down payment, will you do it? And you said, yeah. And I was like, fucking perfect. Boom.
Yep.
And that was that.
And it's crazy because I almost didn't go.
I know. That's what's even crazier.
But it was perfect. I had a bad client and I was so depressed, man. I was so bummed out. And dude, I drank it all. I smoked. I did whatever I could to get it out of whatever. And then the next day, was it Donnell?
Donnell.
Yeah, she called me. And I was just being honest. You paid for it already, whatever. And I was like, I just sent her a voice message. You know what? I don't even know who she was. I'm going through this. I was just being vulnerable 100%. And he's like, hey, look, just come. Just come. Can you do that? And I was like, dude, I don't have any money right now. And I was like, whatever. I just took whatever I had. Mm-hmm. I drove. I didn't tell anybody for the first 2 days that I slept in my car.
Wow.
I slept in my car. I had to go drive in the Red Canyons, and I slept there. I was and I took a bath in my, I bought a cooler, and I put all my snacks and whatever water. I just
use that fucking towel off and shit.
Then I went and found a trucker stop the next day to take a good shower. But I literally slept in my car for 2 days, and then the next day, the last day, I told people, I was like, well, hey, we're becoming friends. Hey, can you, maybe, can I crash at your place? And they're like, why, you've been sleeping in your car? Yep. So someone bought me a hotel to spend the night. It was really cool. Man.
That's crazy.
I was like, Coach, who was it, Matt? Mindy. I don't know if you know Mindy yet. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, man, those things changed my life, and the whole thing changed my life. I found my self-worth.
Yeah. I
found my self-worth. I found what I'm about. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dang, especially in leadership, that's what helped completely change my life.
Leadership was crazy, man. That was my least favorite part, and I got so much out of it, which is funny.
I know. Yeah. Oh gosh. But I do want to read this to you. That you wrote me. Is it cool if I write this to you?
Oh, dude.
You wrote to me.
Wow.
I know. I saved it. Glenn, this is what, a year ago? A year ago. Glenn, you began as the funny YouTube Arizona cans guy. Mm-hmm. Then became the guy the guy people only had good things to say about. Then became the dude in front of the house in a suit. And you stayed as that guy for a while. We both did. I think when the business fell out, it hit you and I the hardest. We lived it. It was everything for us because it was our escape, our chance to be great. And we felt lost after. You and I both scrambled and both got into something new. We needed purpose again. I went to Europe because I saw you become the guy who dropped everything and traveled. Then the big shift happened. The guy who dropped everything to build something he loves, but most importantly, you are now the guy who is growing the thing he loves. You inspire me, Glenn. Glenn, the blessings I see in you are love, kindness, and the warmest heart. I drive that it is so intense that it even scares you sometimes. I see a genuine man who does not stop. Someone who does everything he can to level up and grow and fill his shoes to optimize that position. I see someone who despises every setback, says thank you for the lesson, and gets back up to keep on pushing. Our paths keep crossing for a reason, man. What I've been able to do thanks to you is something I can never thank you enough for. The ripples you create in others' loves may go unrealized for years, but know that those ripples always grow in waves. You are power. I love you, Glenn. Thank you, man. I really appreciate this. You know, these are the things that keep me going. These are reminders for me to be like, hey, I got something, and that's why I'm very grateful to be your friend.
I'm very grateful to be your friend, man. I'm very grateful to have you as a part of my life. I can't believe that was a single page that just summed up this entire conversation. That was almost fucking word for word
exactly
like this conversation. That is great. Also, I love that there were so many typos on that because that is so on brand for me. I'm the fucking king of typos, man. But Jesus, man, like that was literally piece by piece the conversation that we just had. That is fucking crazy, man.
Because of this, I've actually found like really serious about being with too. Like in choice, I found someone that I've like genuinely like we have a strong connection.
Right.
And like if it wasn't for choice, and I hated her.
Yeah.
I hated her. I'm like, oh gosh. And I told her already.
Yeah.
I started, like, all the people I hated in there. Like, there's good friends, like Bishop, Venus, like, all these people I hated. Tiffany. I hated them, but I became best friends. Like, we still talk every single day. I'm like, gosh, it's because there was something in me that I really liked in them. I'm sure it was, and they were just more
something
authentic.
in them that you didn't like about yourself.
Exactly. There was something in there, so it's changed my life, man.
There was a guy named Errol who was in my group, and tall, muscular white guy with a little bit of an attitude. Guess who I fucking couldn't stand? The tall, muscular white guy with a little bit of an attitude. Because I just saw everything about myself that I was either scared to be or that I didn't like. And I got partnered up with him immediately, and I was fucking pissed. And I still talk to him.
You still talk to him?
Still talk to him.
Damn.
Crazy, man.
Anyways, Andrew, that's all I got. I saved
man.
This letter for you, and that's.
Dude, hang on to that.
Yeah,
I kind of want that to come up like 5 years from now. You know, like it's crazy that you It's crazy that letter was so genuine that it could just come out authentically again, just from us talking.
Yeah,
that's what's so crazy to me.
Yeah,
is that was just so genuinely like what I thought and felt about you. Right. It makes me happy, and you know, I'm sure those things will be true in 5 years. You know,
exactly. And I think I really believe we're gonna our dreams are gonna come true, 100%. Like it's all reality.
Yeah.
What we really want and what we envision, and I already see it in you. I see you putting in the work, and I'm sure you see me put the work.
Yeah, fucking absolutely, dude.
Yeah, so you've seen it all.
All right, give me a hug, bro.
All right, man. Love you, dude.
Hug, bro. Thank you, dude. You're welcome.
Always.
Goddamn.
Anyways, that was it for Glenn's Mobile Podcast. This was Andrew at Pride Fitness and Movement, right? Yeah, Pride Fitness and Movement. And where can we find you
at Andrew PFM on every social networking site except Twitter. You can find my YouTube at Pride Fitness and Movement, or on Instagram at Pride Fitness and Movement. And yeah, if you ever have any coaching questions, if you ever have any PT, nutrition, massage questions, yada, yada, go ahead and get a hold of me there.
Or subscribe to his channel too, because he has a YouTube channel. That's the stuff that I shoot too.
Yeah, he shoots all my content, guys. Go check him out.
Okay.
And can I do the sign off?
What is it?
Can I do my sign off that I do on my?
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, guys. My name's Andrew with Pride. This is Glenn with
Glenn's Mobile Podcast.
And we'll see y'all later.